Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So what we're going to do today is we're going to play with this paper pumpkin stamp set, and I'm going to tell you, I've had a lot of fun with it. These are just really fun images, and I love the sentiments. Very versatile, I think. So what I've got some pre-cut pieces from the stamp set. I've stamped and colored the bunny and the chicks. I'm just going to quickly go through these and show you how I colored them. So I used, for the chick, I only used Daffodil Delight, and for the bunny, I used light bubble bath. So all I did was color the tops of the ears with the light bubble bath, and then fussy cut the bunny out, and then I get that. So I'm going to set that aside. And then the chicks, I used both the light and the dark. So to start with, I colored the chicks with the light completely. And these images are really easy to fussy cut out. Light everywhere. Okay, now that that's done, I'm going to grab the dark and I'm going to color in the beak and the feet. Now you could leave it like that if you want, that's totally fine too. I'm going to just add a little, make it a little bit darker, going around the edge first. And I'm leaving a little opening right there at the top of the wing, just to do some shadowing. And I'm going to do the same thing on both of these. It doesn't have to be perfect. Then I'm going to go back in and put some more of this dark in here, so that these are just a little teensy bit darker. And now that that's done, I'm going to take the fine point. I'm going to go back and color in here. And that's going to darken that shaded area just a little bit. And I'm only coloring the body. I'm leaving the feet and the beak alone. And that kind of helps spread, you know, blend that color more. And that's all I did for these. And then I have fussy cut the chicks out, and they're really easy to fussy cut out. Okay, so now that that's done, we have these pieces that were left from the paper pumpkin kit, some of the gems, the glue dots, and somewhere around here is my dimensionals. So I pulled a couple of card kits, or card sketches. This one's from the Cutest Blog. Or sorry, the Cards TV. This is from Cards TV. And I'm not right now finding which sketch this is. But that one's from Cards TV. And then I pulled this one from Sketch Saturday, number 745. I did use some other sketches, and I'll show you those samples, but these were my favorite ones. So we're going to make those. So the first one we're going to make is we're going to make this sketch here. I still need to get that, cut a circle. I might have one available here. We'll see in a second that I can use. But I've got all the pieces here prepped and ready. So I'm just pulling from my stash. As I've said in previous videos, I'm trying to use up my paper stash. So I pulled from there. I've got a stack I'm working with here. And I decided I was going to use basic gray for the background on this because I'm pulling in a lot of purple, and I didn't want a purple background. So for this card, I have 2 pieces of smoky slate that are 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Just a little bit bigger than this piece, which is 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have a piece of white for basic white for the inside of the card, and one of these smoky slates is for the inside of the card. This is also 4 by 5 1/4. Then I have these two pieces here. This one is 3 1/4 by 2 1/2, and the pattern paper is 3 inches by 2 1/4. And then I have this strip here that is 1 by 4 inch. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this glued together, and I think I want it on this open card here. I'm going to go ahead and get this glued down. It's really fun to kind of just work with sketches when you need to use a whole bunch of paper and you want to use up some of your stash. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on the inside of the card. And the reason I'm matting it is because when I get done with the front, this is going to be heavier than this. This is thick cardstock. It would be fine. This is basic white thick. So it would be fine without it on there, and it stands just fine. But I just want to add that little extra. So I'm going to put that in there. Now, I don't always do this for all my cards. Sometimes I just leave them alone and don't put anything on the inside if it's a white card base. Okay, so now we're going to work on our front piece. So I'm going to move that stamp set aside for now. I'm going to go ahead and attach this to my gray. I think purple and gray and pink and gray look really good together. Now you could do any neutral with this for a background, or you could pull in another color. You could pull in this color here, which I think that is, I don't know what color that is. Okay, and I'm going to go, well, no, we're going to build on this first. Now this, according to the sketch, is right about here, and I'm just eyeballing it, estimating about how much is exposed on the bottom to the top when this is attached. I'm going to go ahead and attach this. Now I have another idea with this that I haven't done yet, and I didn't prep for it, so if there is time on the video, we'll go ahead and do that idea. Just making sure that's straight. Okay, so now I'm going to come to here and I'm going to go ahead and put one of these pieces down, or put this piece on the smoky slate. Now this has a bigger border per the instructions. I did a smaller border on this. If you want to, you can always adjust it so it has the same border, but I like the way this is. So this is going to just sit like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these bunnies and bunny and chick pieces that we had left over, and I'm just going to attach it right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and put that so that it's kind of crooked on here like that. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and attach this to my card base. And this should just leave just a small little white edge all the way around. if you're following the measurements I gave earlier. Okay, there's our card right now, but I do want to add a sentiment here. Now this says it's a 1.5 inch circle. Don't have to use a 1.5 inch circle. I have these die cuts here. I could put one of these lacy ones. That's really cute. It's some of our shimmer paper that we used to have that I miss. That would be really cute, but I don't know if the sentiment would fit on there. So, let's see what else I have that we can use. Got it all prepped except for that piece. We could use another square. This is kind of fun. That might be really great too. Let's see. Will any of these sentiments fit on there? Happy Easter will not. Welcome, baby will. See if I can find something just a little bit. Maybe an oval. Happy Easter would fit on that. So let's use that piece. Oh, let's look at this one. Yeah, we're going to do this. So we're going to go ahead and stamp Happy Easter with our stamp spot that came in the paper pumpkin kit. Here's our dimensionals that we had left over. Flip that over. Now this is the Early Espresso ink pad, little Stampin' Spot that came with the paper pumpkin kit. Center this. There we go. I'm going to clean that off really quick. And I just keep these in, I actually have these in a box, but I think I'm going to use I'm going to use something else to store these so I can get to them easier. So there is our sentiment, Happy Easter. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this up. See where this is going to be sitting. Right about there. So put it on the top there. There, and one right there. Let's see how that's going to sit. And I'm going to grab one of my other dimensionals. I think the thickness is different a little. So I'm going to grab a thinner dimensional and put it right there. Let's see how that's going to sit. That's going to be good. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off. There we go. So there's that. Now we have some of these embellishments here that were left. So let's see where we might want to put these. Oh, you know what would be fun is to use some of these smaller ones since this has floral pattern in it, and just add some of these to the flowers here. And then add one right there. Now you could definitely do more if you wanted to add a bow or anything, but I think that card's super cute. So there's a simple design that you could use with your stamps and leftover pieces from their paper pumpkin kit. Okay, now we're going to do the other sketch that I was, well, let me show you what I did with the same sketch. So I did these two cards here, and I did baby cards. And I just used, I fussy cut these, I glued this, I added just a piece of cardstock to the back of the chick just to lift it just a little to give it a tiny bit of dimension. And I just put those on there, cut out a stitch circle, and that would fit this sentiment, and just put welcome baby. And I think they turned out super cute. And you could do the same thing with this too, do welcome baby, but I think that's fun with an oval up there in this fun pattern paper. So there's that. Now the next one, I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to grab one of these cards that are, this is 8.5 score, 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. But it's going to be this orientation here. So this is going to be my card base. Here are my pieces. And one of these is for the inside of the card. So I'm going to go ahead and get this attached. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this on the inside of my card. And again, this just should have just a small white border all the way around. Okay, there's the inside of that card. Now, I'm going to set this smoky slate aside, and we're going to work on this. And we're going to set these two pieces aside. So these will go on here. And all three of these squares, oh, this is using the, that out of the way, Sketch Saturday. And these squares are 1 3/4 inches square. This is 4 by 5 1/4. And I had 2 of these, 2 smoky slate that are 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. This is the mat for my white piece, and this is 1 5/8 by 3 5/8, and then this piece is 1 1/2 by 3 1/2 inches. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to attach these squares right here at the bottom, and you're going to line them up on the edges. And they'll go just like this. And if they hang over a little bit, we can trim. So I'm going to go ahead and get these attached. And because I'm going edge to edge, I'm not really worried about whether putting the 2 on this and then lining this up in the center. I'm just going to go down and get these attached. And I'm going to be sure to follow the edge of this card that I have here, the mat that I'm putting on, the panel. Okay, so there's that. I've got them attached. Now I'm going to just trim here on the edge. So I do have a tiny bit of hangover on it. And this is a little bit of hangover there. I'm just going to trim that. There we go. Okay, So now what I want to do is I prefer my own style is to emboss this. So we're going to quilt this with an embossing folder. So let me get that out, and I'm just going to use this textured linen one. Let's put that in there. And then grab my pieces for my large cut and emboss machine. Move this up a little bit so this doesn't move the paper around. And then run this through. Again, you're only going to use your number 1 and your number 4. That's all you need for embossing. Take that out. And there is our embossed piece, and I will try to bring it a little bit closer. You see the texture on it, and it just quilts it, and it makes it almost look like it's part of the paper. So bring this back down. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and attach this to this gray backing here. Now this one I'm going to make as a baby card. It's going to say, "Welcome, baby." Okay, so now we need to get this piece ready here. So since I know I'm going to be making it into a baby card, I'm going to grab my "Welcome, Baby" sentiment here. Get that stamped. And then stamp this over to this side here. I'm going to kind of center it. There we go. All right, so we've got that done. Now I'm going to go ahead and add this to this gray piece here. Okay, so I've already pre-cut these chicks. Now you could use your glue dots to glue some things down. I need 3 of them. Move those down for right now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place these kind of at different heights, and then I'm going to pop the center one up. And I might want that one a little bit higher. I'm just going to kind of place these to see where I want them. That's probably good right there. I'm going to go ahead and glue these down. And I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of this one. I might put a couple. Got some glue on my fingers so everything's sticking to me. Yep, that'll work. I've got 2 on there. Go ahead and peel the release papers. And then just stick that down there. let's bring our panel back in. We're just going to attach that right there. And I'm going to center it, and I'm going to put it closer to the top and leave a bigger gap on the bottom here. Make sure it's straight. That looks good. Now, because this is a white background, I'm not going to use any of these dots on here, but I will use some embellishments here. Let's see what we have that would look cute. So any of your embellishments that you have in your stash. This is some old paper pumpkin embellishments too. I think I'll add some of those. Sometimes you end up like with this, some extra ones, and I just save them and use them on future projects. So I'm going to put 3 right there. You could do a bow with some twine. There you go. And then I'm going to go ahead and attach this to the card base here. All right, and there is our cute little welcome baby card. Isn't that adorable? I think it's so adorable. A little bit of bling, and it's simple. You could certainly add some things down here, but I think this paper is just pretty, adds a little bit of extra to the card. Here is another version that I made. And I actually have some Love from Lizzie stickers that I have a small pile of that I use when I want something flatter. So that's what I used on there. It's not a Stampin' Up! Product. All right, and then I want to show you some other cards that I've been playing with. So this one here I saw in our catalog. I thought was a great idea, and this one I did as a welcome baby with some ribbon. I cut a piece of petal pink, and I took our punch that shape, and I punched that out of there. And then I took a piece of white and sponged some petal pink behind it, and then stuck the bunny and the chick right in there like they're coming through the window. So there's a simple card that I made using that. Another sketch that I've used, grab those really quick. Okay, I used another sketch, My Favorite Things, number 686. I kind of flipped the order of it though. So I used some more paper that I'm trying to get out of my stash, and I used the circle die and the scallop dies, and I just stamped the daffodil on here, colored it, and then I just added some blue to give kind of like a blue sky, and did the springtime greetings, and added some embellishments that I have in my stash, and then a twine bow on each of these. And I think those turned out really cute as well. So there's those. And then another sketch that I've used is this one here, which is Sweet Sunday number 300. And I made this card with it. So again, using up my stash, and use some gems from the stash. The circle I cut out with our circle dies, and I just stamped the bunny like they're all peeking through, and then just colored in their ears and put Happy Easter. I think that turned out really cute. And I think this one, I think I maybe saw in the catalog too, like the layout of it, but I thought it would be fun just to kind of do a little scenery. So this white panel, that's what I did. I just stamped the daffodils, colored them in, the bunny, colored in the ears, and then had the fussy cut out chicks and just added a little bit of cardstock behind it just to give it some dimension. These and these are Love from Lizzie to add some pinstriping. You could do that without it. You can do, you know, cardstock or something. Add some Wink of Stella on there. Yeah, so those are the cards that I made that I was playing with the stamp set. Now let's see how much time we have. We're already at 30 minutes. Don't know if we would have time to do another card design with this same sketch. Let's see. Well, either one of these. So we could, this one here, for this pattern, you could cut out just a white panel here and do some stamping with the daffodils. Also, or just stamp the bunny on there and do a little scene. You could also do with this. This would be pretty with some, just some daffodils and maybe some blending brush too. So I know if my video goes too long, it's very hard to load up, so I need to be careful. So that's what I've done with this stamp set. I've had a lot of fun. This is such a great stamp set. All the Paper Pumpkin Kit stamp sets are really great. It's really fun to play with. So I hope this inspired you, and I hope that you get creative, find some sketches, or just put some paper together and have some fun with this Paper Pumpkin stamp set. Thank you for joining me, and I'll catch you on the next one.